Back in the day, my boss would always say, everybody in the front row. Well, good morning, everyone. Sam, you know how to throw a party. You filled a room here. So thank you, folks, for joining us here today. It's a really exciting time to be here in Concord today. A really exciting announcement. So I'm Joe Corelli, I'm president of Citizens, and really it's my pleasure to be here with all of you today. At Citizens, we take a very focused view on sustainability and the environment. In fact, in Citizens, we came up with our ESG and governance program a couple of years ago, but we've made sustainability very much at the forefront of who we are as an organization. And so with that, a couple of times a year, Citizens goes to market, and we pick a topic where we feel that some additional investment is needed to both increase awareness, strengthen nonprofit organizations, and really show how impactful and important the community organization's mission is to all of us. This half year, it happens twice a year, and it's called our Champions in Action program. This half year, we went out and we had a focus on energy efficiency. And so I'll cut right to the chase to say that I'm pleased to announce that we're all here today because Clean Energy New Hampshire is the first half 2024's award recipient of the Citizens Champion in Action. So how about a round of applause? On behalf of all of our Citizens colleagues across our footprint, congratulations, Clean Energy New Hampshire. So what does this mean? So as a champion in action, the organization is going to receive a $50,000 unrestricted grant. For many of you that are on boards and staff that work in nonprofit organizations, that typically a grant comes with some other reasons for it. You might have to match it, might have to have defined programs. The Citizens Champion in Action program is so unique in the market in that we provide $50,000 to the organization to use in their mission as they deem fit. Now, it doesn't come easy, right? We, as the folks on your development team know, there's a pretty thorough vetting process to become a champion in action. We look at the financials, we look at the board, we talk to staff, we think about the mission, and then we align how closely all of those outcomes match up with our giving priorities for the program. And Clean Energy New Hampshire checked all of those boxes. So because of that, Clean Energy New Hampshire now joins only 60 other organizations. Now there are about 9,200 nonprofit organizations in the state of New Hampshire. Clean Energy New Hampshire now joins 60 other nonprofits that over the last 21 years have been providing about $1.6 million worth of unrestricted grants through the Citizens Champion in Action program. So that's a pretty significant place to be. Again, congratulations to you and the staff for that accolade. Champions in Action, like I said, been around for 21 years. Given over $10 million to 375 organizations across our footprint. And this period, actually, you hit it just right because last year, if we were sitting here, was $35,000. So, in fact, I had to look at my notes twice over the weekend when it said $50,000. So, you're the recipient of 50, not 35 from last year because it's gotten more expensive to run our business, hasn't it? Energy sustainability is really important to Citizens. I mentioned a couple of years ago we came up with our ESG, and we really look at sustainability as really being the forefront for all of us. To be a good bank, you also have to think about sustainability of the future. And it's so important to us. In fact, in September of 2022, Citizens inked a contract with Ørsted Energy to purchase 100% of our energy needs across our entire footprint. And we gained 100% of renewable energy credits. So we're one of the few banks that can actually say that, we have a sustainability target. We've held ourselves to a very high goal with already purchasing 100% of our energy needs in the future. We've also come up with tools to help our customers and clients really think about their carbon footprint. So we're actually coming out with tools so that we really understand how our customers are treating the environment. We've also come out with some guidelines around our vendors. So not only are we holding ourselves under that lens, We're taking a look at our clients and helping them understand what sustainability really means and those people that do business with us. So that just goes to reinforce really how important it is and how proud I am to be able to sit here today with Clean Energy New Hampshire as this month's, this half year's recipient. One of the best parts of my job also is to get to learn a little bit about these organizations. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Sam, Clean Energy New Hampshire wasn't an organization I knew a lot about before the award came up. But you're doing really, really good work in a lot of different ways. The Energy Riders program, which I think we're going to hear a little bit more from this morning, partnering with state and local municipalities, really focusing on some of those areas like lower income communities, where helping individuals have their homes and businesses a little bit more efficient really makes a difference in their already strained budgets. So these programs are incredibly important to be able to show that sustainability not just sounds good, but it really makes good economic and financial sense. And your goal of helping New Hampshire to be fully carbon neutral by 2050, is that the right date? Is perhaps maybe an aggressive but realistic goal. And all of us in here are hoping that we continue to work very strong towards achieving that objective. So we can't have a program like this without great partnership. And I've been really fortunate at Citizens for many, many years to have a great partner with New Hampshire Union Leader, Brendan McQuaid, who's been at this podium for me a couple of dozen times over the years. Is a great media partner and really will help us to drive awareness. So just a couple more things about the program, and then turn it over to Brendan. I mentioned once $50,000 unrestricted grant. Second, the publicity and support that you'll get from the union leader is really paramount. Volunteerism from citizens and the awareness. And I'll tell you that as I check back with executive directors of organizations that have been champions, while they typically will say, Joe, that check was really, really great, the second thing they'll say is that the amount of publicity and press that we got with the partnership with Citizens and the union leader, really caused people to pick up the phone and say, hey, I read about you, I want to learn more about you, and also where can I contribute? So that program, the benefits of that program really come back for years and years. So with that, I'm going to turn the podium over to our partner, Brendan McQuaid from the union.
So yeah, as Joe mentioned, the smart thing that Citizens did with this is they want to give out money to help these organizations, but they also want people to know that these organizations exist. And a lot of times, we go to organizations like Clean Energy NH that a lot of people don't necessarily know about because they're operating in parts of the world that people don't have a lot of contact with. We also partner with organizations like the Boys and Girls Club that people think they know about, and then we have stories and we tell them a little bit more about what they do. So it's really exciting for me because we get to have our readers learn a lot more about what Clean Energy NH does, what they plan to do, and what they're going to be doing in the future, helping the state with what's really become one of the biggest issues of our time. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to be partnering with Citizens Bank for this again, and I'm excited to learn more with our readers about what you guys do. So with that, who am I turning it over to? I think you're turning it over to Sam. All right.
So So thank you everybody for coming. These are actually new digs for us. This is only the second time or so that we've used this space, so it's fun to see it in use, and also it's sort of a testament to the growth of the organization as to how we're maturing as we go. I just want to say a couple words of thanks. First to the CNH board. We have several past and present board chairs here in the room. If you're on the board, if you could raise your hand. And in particular, I wanted to say thanks to Madeline, who's both a board member and was the executive director that created the Circuit Rider program, under which that our narrative in this was really crafted around, and which we'll talk more about today. So I just get to inherit good ideas as opposed to actually coming up with any of my own. So thanks. so to CNH staff, who make me look good every day, I get to stand up here while they do all the real work. So if the staff could raise their hands, there's a bunch of folks here. And just know, as the team grows, I just get to claim credit for things that I'm not really doing myself, which is a place of privilege. I also want to say thanks to all the entities that are making the Circuit Rider program possible. The Neil and Louise Tillotson Fund is where the initial funding came to create this program in 2019. So none of us would be here if it weren't for them. So thank you to the Tillotson Fund. And also, there's a number of entities that are maybe not represented here that we should talk about. So we're expanding thanks to funding from the Northern Border Regional Commission. We're supported by the Lewis Foundation. The USDA has become a key partner in growing this program. And also the Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire has been helping us to roll community power aggregation out to municipalities and save money for every one of their residents. So thanks to everyone who's on the list. Thank you for clapping for all of us. So when it comes to the future that we imagine for the Grand Estate, it is one in which clean energy is affordable, it is abundant, and really it's the automatic choice. And I think that's the difference that we don't see today, that we imagine in 2050. So think about it. If you've ever had your furnace die and you have to, and it's cold and it's the winter and you have to get heat into your home, you are not an expert in furnaces. What do? You get on the phone and the person who comes fixes your problem, and you're not asking questions about what is the carbon footprint of the device that I'm about to put in my home. The future that we imagine, that choice, you still would not be an expert in what is the heating choice that you're putting in to make sure that your pipes don't freeze, but it would be a zero carbon choice because that will become the default. And that is the market transformation that we're really pushing towards. And the way that, in my mind, that starts is by taking the economics, the beneficial economics of these solutions that over the course of the past 5 years really have really started to come home in a way that I think is still not widely acknowledged, that many of these solutions do pay for themselves, and they pay for themselves relatively quickly, taking those beneficial economics and putting them in front of communities. And so that, I think, is really the key thing that the Circuit Rider program does. And it does so in such a way that is in collaboration with these communities and is in fact led by the community. So Melissa will talk more about how they work, but in my mind, what makes this model so powerful is we get to know community members, we talk to them about what their priorities are, and then we inform them about how they could make that decision in a way that reduces their emissions and saves their community money. And then, because this is New Hampshire, many of those decisions then go to town meeting, and every individual in that community gets to look at that prospectus, gets to see the payback period on that clean energy investment, be that energy efficiency, be it municipal solar, and they get to cast their ballot in favor of it. And so you've not just had the impact of reducing the emissions for the community and saving the taxpayers' money in that community, you've also educated every individual that comes in to make that vote. And I think that's what makes this program so powerful and makes us so excited about trying to grow it and expand it to the entire state of New Hampshire. And I think the proof essentially is in the pudding. And so when you put LED lights in your high school and your electricity bill falls by tens of thousands of dollars a year, suddenly folks are not quite so worked up about the fact that they're not going to have incandescent bulbs in their house. When you put EV charging on your main street and suddenly there are tourists that are frequenting your shops while they're waiting for that car to charge back up, maybe you're not quite so worried about having to transition away from your gas car. And when you put a community solar array in your town and your town sees the tax benefits associated with that and the lower energy bills to all your municipal meters, maybe you're not quite so worked up about the intermittency of that solar in the future. And I think that really is that's how we make this happen, is making these technologies real for people in a way that they can see and touch and feel and understand. So that's what we're working on. I'm going to hand it off to Melissa, who can talk about the communities that she works with. And again, thank you all for being here.
And thank you so much to Citizens for supporting Clean Energy New Hampshire and the Circuit Rider program. I am an energy circuit rider, and I work in Coos County and Northern Grafton County, and I work with municipalities. And I'd love to just give you a quick example of the type of work that the energy circuit riders do. One of the communities that I work with is the town of Stratford, which is a tiny community of about 600 people. It's located between Northumberland and Colebrook. You might not actually even notice if you drive through Stratford, but they're trying to change that, and they're working really hard to change that. Stratford does not have an energy committee, so I work directly with the 3-person select board and the administrative assistant. And Stratford is an economically disadvantaged community. It is one of the lowest median household income communities in the state. And when I approached the town of Stratford in 2019, the select board, they said, bring us every opportunity. Everything is on the table. And so one of the first things we did was they gave me their annual electricity and heating fuel usage for all of their municipal accounts. And I just spent a couple hours pouring through all of their data in their town hall, and we, together with the select board, came up with a game plan. And since 2019, they have completed energy audits of all of their municipal facilities, and they have done LED lighting upgrades and weatherization upgrades in their municipal buildings. Weatherization upgrades are insulation and air sealing, things like that, to reduce heat loss. They have done 2 solar arrays, done in 2 phases, to convert so that they can offset all of their electricity load for all of their municipal buildings combined. And they're currently working on another project to transition their town hall and library to air source heat pumps. They're installing a small solar array at their town pavilion, and they're installing a level 2 EV charging station so that people will stop in Stratford, go to the general store, look around, visit the sites, things like that. So all of this is, and doing this, we actually were able to leverage 5 different grant and incentive programs, sometimes combining the same programs on different projects to help reduce the upfront cost to the town, decrease the payback period, and really maximize the savings that the town will realize. So this is just a quick example of the work that circuit riders can do, because we can offer direct, sort of customized assistance to communities over an extended period of time. And that's pretty key, because all of this was really only possible by working with Stratford over the last 4 years. So that's really the benefit of the Circuit Rider program, to be with them as a project partner over the long term. So thank you so much to citizens. We really appreciate your support.
So I think that concludes our program.
Is this the ball?
Yeah, there's a. And I do want to point out, so you referenced the 2050 date.
Yeah.
These are new mission, vision, and principles that were adopted by the board just at the end of last year. And glad to have them up on the screen, because we're very excited to start to use these as our guiding words.
Well, Sam, on behalf of all of us at Citizens, our partners at the Hampshire Union Leader, we are so honored to be able to present you with the first Champions in Action $50,000 check. Congratulations really to your staff, to your board, all of your community partners and volunteers. This is a really important event, and congratulations to all. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You can all hang out as long as you want. You know, some of us may have to go back to work eventually.
If any staff or board members would like to take a picture